What is going on, everybody? Maverick Mike back again with another weekly Watchers Watch List, looking to show you guys what I'm possibly trying to profit on for this upcoming week. Hope everybody had a great week. If you like what I got going on, hit that subscribe button before I get started here, because I do this once a week. Being transparent as possible is very important in this sketchy industry. So I'm here to guide you through a possible another profitable week like we had last week in the Maverick Room. If you checked out last week's weekly watchers, we had a couple wins from that watch list, and let's see if we can do it again today. I had a great weekend. Hopefully you guys did too. There's no better way to start the new week than with some money, and that's actually how we started this week's brand new Monday, with some profit from an overnight watch list play that we actually have on this weekly watch list, and I'll go over it when I get down to it. So let's dive in. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm here to make money and friends. So let's do it. The first sector, so I always review my weekly watchers. This is how I set myself up. I always set it up in the same way every week. I like to treat it like a newspaper. So show up with a cup of coffee, grab your newspaper, and read along for the beginning Monday. These stocks aren't stocks you just want to go out and buy every single one of them, but it's a list of stocks that I believe can give you great opportunity to make 10, 15, 20% plus possibly overnight in one day to the next. And that's usually what my strategy consists of. So I'll start with sectors, then I'll get into listed stocks, then I'll get into OTC stocks, and then I'll close it out with options. Well, I'll do options and then OTC stocks I'll close it out with. But it's the same every week because consistency matters in everything that we do here. So if you are wondering where you can get this watch list is in the Mavericks Mastery Room in the Simpler Trading website, so on simplertrading.com. In the Mavericks Mastery Room, I'm actually live twice a day, early in the morning, the first hour of the day from 9:15 to 10:30, and late in the day from 2:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested, hit that link below. You can always join me. Love to have you on the team tagging bags like we did this morning. But let's dive in and let's see what we got this week. And it starts with the gold sector. The reason why I'm watching the gold sector is because I actually was playing the breakout right here. And that was 2 weeks ago. And this is the ETF that I'm watching, GLD ETF. So I was playing a lot of stocks as GLD broke out. And usually for me, if they break out and then they continue to run another week or two, I start to say, whoa, that's too much. I was looking at a breakout about 2 weeks ago. This is way too extended. So in my opinion, I think it needs to come back down. So with gold, I'm actually looking at shorts. And these are the 4 shorts that I'm going to look at right off the bat. And it starts with this listed stock that is ran from 1250 to 1630 in a couple days. Usually we would look for one pullback. I was looking for more of a gap up here. It didn't get it. So that's not as interesting. Another one. This is a lighter volume one, but one I do feel like could get a good push down when gold does push down. SCZMF. Keep your eyes on that one. And then GSVRF. This is a 52-week breakout that I played from September 2nd to September 3rd. Nice overnight 10-15% profit there. But it continued to run for 2 more weeks. And in my opinion, instead of beating myself up and saying, oh, I should have held that to 38, I'm just looking to make some more money on the way down. You know, no one went broke taking a profit, I always like to say. So that's the first sector. The next sector is actually a group of stocks that have been running because one stock has been going crazy. And if you are a stock trader, you know about this one. Good old Open Door, OPEN. A beautiful opportunity in Open Door here if you were long-term this. I'm not one of those traders that hold long-term stocks for a while. I'm usually one day to the next. But I've made some good money with the patterns that were lining up. And that's one day to the next here, one day to the next here that the group was able to profit on. Now, in my opinion, I'm not really looking to play this anymore. But if this does continue, which I'm rooting for it to, I really, really want it to go, Because if this goes, you're going to get a group of other stocks that are most likely going to follow. And that's the group that I'm going to bring up to you right now. And it starts with OPI, which you already have a huge breakout over the weekend. You have OPAD, which this one actually hasn't moved yet. So this will be a good one to watch if Open is able to squeeze back above that breakout level. And then we have GoPro, which is breaking out right now. So usually with the Maverick Mastery Room, I go over this watch list early on Monday morning, so we're always prepared. If you were prepared for GoPro early Monday morning, you could have played this breakout. It actually was sitting at 210 for a couple minutes this morning before it officially made that move up. And it made that move up because we have the sympathy play that is continuing to hold. And as that continues to hold, sorry about that, that brings other opportunity out there. So usually I'm not playing the huge runner, but I'm playing the ones that go along with it. This is another one. Huge runner from 40 cents to 180 last week. Now if we can hold 120 for about a day or two and open squeezes again, this one will be a beautiful one. And then LDI was that last one that I was looking for a sympathy play. But those are all great opportunities to make some money this week. It all starts with Open though. You need Open to continue. And if Open falls, because it's probably due to fall sooner than later, these will probably be good shorts. So I think there's going to be opportunity on the long side and the short side here on these stocks. So great list of stocks to put onto just a watch list. Remember, don't go out and buy. You're just creating a watch list. It's a great way to be prepared every day in the market. I mean, you don't show up to work when I had a normal 9 to 5. I didn't just show up to work unprepared. I had to get ready, get clean, look nice, get prepared, actually write down certain things that's going to happen for that day. There's usually preparation that goes to anything in life, and this is the preparation here when it comes to the stock market for me. So now we'll get into our listed stocks. Sectors was the first thing I highlighted. Now we're getting into listed stocks. Now, when you're reading this watch list, you're probably wondering why it's just a stock and whatever this means. And this is the pattern that I'm looking for. I only played 5 patterns, and if you don't know too many of them, I actually just started to create a watch list or a pattern section here in my YouTube. So you can check out all my patterns here that I've been making now. I have one more video. So there's only 5 patterns that I like to do, but those are great ones to review because that's how you're going to understand where I am, what I'm talking about here. But this is self-explanatory. It's a multi-month breakout, meaning it's breaking out of a spot that it hasn't broken in a while. Wolf was a stock we actually had on our overnight watch list on Friday. So if you took it overnight from Friday to today, you made 15%. Good work there. We're continuing to watch it for a breakout and a continuation. If that breaks out, 333, we'll probably try to play it. Right now, it's up 3 green days. I wouldn't play it yet. We need some sort of consolidation this week. Now, this is a Bitcoin stock, and Bitcoin stocks have been really weird lately. They kind of all been drifting up. And the one stock that hasn't drifted up yet in Bitcoin is Mara. You look at other Bitcoin stocks like Riot, which used to run with Mara, and Riot's actually up by breakout. You look at stocks like Hive that I'm trying to short this week, and this one's continuing to run. So why isn't Mara yet? It's a heavier stock for sure, but it's one that we should be watching without a doubt. So we'll be watching Mara without a doubt. And then BBAI is another one I really like. BBAI is known to spike when a lot of other runners spike. This is an AI stock that usually runs with SOUN. And SOUN started to move up last week slightly. It's also holding right now. RGTI was another one that used to run with those ones, and this one's actually all by breakout. So BBAI, I think, has room to get legs. You can see what it's done in the past when it's broken out. So I just want to see it come back above 540. Right now, we're creating a nice range. The longer we hold 5, as long as we don't crack it, I like it. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. And the reason why I have it highlighted in orange is because I'm actually looking to play it today. So usually these stocks are stocks that I watch this week, but if you're urgent and you're one of those people that want to trade today, which patience pays, guys, you got to wait for your setup to happen in this game, but the orange ones are the ones today that I'm looking at. So BBAI is one that I'm looking at today. RR is a robotic stock. It came right to breakout. I think this might be a good one for later, to tell you the truth. If we can continue to consolidate, maybe we get a big breakout later. It looks like 350 is a nice support level. We played it last week and made a couple hundred off of it. So we'll look to do that again. This is a robotic stock. RR has been doing some crazy movement, which is beautiful to see. And usually when this one spikes, other robotic stocks spike. RR also had news. Tell me this news doesn't describe that the future is here. So RR is a robotic stock. They actually have a robotic bartender in Vegas, and you can now use your Coinbase to pay the bartender. So technically you can use crypto to pay the bartender that is a robot. Future's here. That's like the perfect definition of it. And with that, I like to look at Wrecker. So we'll see if maybe those can get going. Talking about another sector, moving on to another sector that kind of has robots too, is Tesla. The EV sector, I'm watching it this week because Tesla has spiked 3 straight days in a row. Elon Musk is buying more shares. We went from 350 back to 420, the magic number. And now I'm going to be looking at other EV stocks to possibly go. And it starts with PLUG, BLNK, but those are slower ones. And then these ones have just been dying, but looking for a first green day, possibly off $1. And that's PSNY and Workhorse. But those ones are right next to that key dollar spot. So you want to see them either hold $1 or break back above $1. And then the last one, this is an EV stock. We need to see it get back above 192. I've seen it spike before when others spike. So that's why I have it on the list. And then we're going to close it out with, these aren't really any sectors. They're just stocks we're watching. This is technically a metal stock. And in a weird way, OTC's gold and metal stocks are kind of creeping. And we're going to get into that in a second. But this is a metal stock that's coming to 52-week highs with news. So we'll keep an eye on it. OCGN is just a medical stock coming up to 52-week highs with news. And then Hive is that Bitcoin one that I talked about looking to short because it's gone from 260 to 440 in 4 days. And Bitcoin's not even really doing anything special. It is curling, but it's not really doing anything special. So now let me show you these couple of options here that I like. MU I think is going to be a good short. 160 double top would be perfect. If you zoom out to the long term, you could see we're also at resistance too. So I think this could be the spot that we finally come back down. Lyft is a nice short in my opinion too. I think it's getting a bit too overextended just for a pullback for a day or two. That's all I'm looking for. But I would want this to get above 20. And then for long on the options, I'm looking at Target. We're coming down to 88. It's a long-term support level. 88 is the spot I want to see it hold. So those are my options. I'm a wide variety guy. I'll play anything that lines up with my type of opportunity. As long as it's going to give me the opportunity and lining up with my pattern with the right risk levels, I'm going to go after it. And I like to close it out with OTC stocks. This is where I started trading back in 2015, so I still watch them. This is the stock we played over the weekend. 60-cent breakout all the way up to 70. 60-cent breakout all the way to 66. So not the biggest win, but still nice 10% overnight. There's something going on, though, in these metal stocks. Because if you start to go down the list, you see other ones breaking out. TD, RRF, AAG, FF. All these FF ones are ones that we got to watch going into the close. And then this one is a quantum one. It is not a metal stock, but QNCCF, the only reason why I'm watching this is because BTQQF, which is a quantum stock, is on 4 straight green days, and usually that one runs with it. And then the last two I'm going to close it out with. This is a Bitcoin stock that we made money off of last week, but the volume just hasn't came in. If the volume comes in and it breaks back above 95 and $1, this one I think can run. And then the last but certainly not least is an oil stock. This oil stock is known to follow up when it creates first green days. You can see it recently, and what goes around comes back around, and it's the same thing in the market. That's how I'm going to close out this list. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. Click that subscribe button. I'll do it every single week. Also create more videos weekly. And if you want to join the team, would love to have you in the Stock Mavericks Mastery. Click that link below. All right, good luck out there. Go tag some bags. Much love, guys, and have a great week. And let's go Dolphins. I'm not giving up on them. See ya.